And that's as easy as setting the envelope to like instant attack, very fast sustain. Decay is somewhere around 50 to 25% or less. That's how you make your really plucky sounds, is having a very short decay, and the release is maybe matching the decay, but an instant or all the way low sustain, just so that the note is instantly just plucking and then returning and then going all the way to 0 right away. If you hear bells in the background, that's just my cats. Seems like I automate the threshold. Anyway, I got sidetracked. Let's move on. I think I need to fix that white noise. There's kind of a delay there. Oh no, that's just the ping pong. Yeah. I have a whole nother tutorial on how I make white noise buildups and transitions and that kind of thing. Just using an analog, an EQ, reverb, compressor for sidechaining. And I put a ping pong on this one. I guess I like the sound of it. So if you want more detail on how I make white noise, then I'll put a link right here on the page. You'll see it right now. Okay, well, since we talked about white noise, let's take a look. The device on. Oh, the compressor. Yeah, so the compressor's turned off while it's building up, but it's on when it releases after the drop. The track volume is you can see it's being automated here. So it's just kind of one long white noise that's automating a lot. There you go. That's more musical than... And this riser, I think it's another thing I got from Reddit, from one of those Reddit sample packs. There was a pack of risers last month or something. I thought it sounded pretty cool. Put an auto pen on it, used utility just for gain staging. Let me see. So for this part, this synth, you can see the cutoff is opening back up. You should see that in silence. Slowly opening up. And I'm changing the panning scheme to make it more center as soon as it drops. I also have the EQ going. So right before it drops, the EQ brings it up, so it's only the really high frequencies. I think it does that for a lot of things, like parts of the bass line as well. Yep. Just for like a total lack of something before you bring it back makes an even larger impact. So lack of volume, lack of bass, lack of like mids and low end, and then just when it comes all in for the drop, it makes a much bigger impact on people. So here I decided to keep the original bass line, the high end of the low end split, the same as over here. And then for the actual drop, I changed it up. So let's compare those two. This one's a lot more in your face, less reverb, more scratchy sounding that I liked. And I swapped it out for the big drop. Let me take a look and see what I did with it. I have a lot of EQs on this apparently, and I remember that they are important. Without these EQs specifically, it does sound different. Let's see what it sounds like by itself. Just a track in Amber. I don't really use Amber that much by Decam Synth Squad, F Expansion. I don't use it that much. I don't know why I use it here. I'm not even sure how to use it because I rarely ever open it up. I guess I just messed around with stuff. I never really had time to delve into it. But Strobe is a really good synth and by F Expansion. I've used that quite more often than this. But hey, the end result sounded really cool. Whatever I did months ago to make this sound. And sausage fattener, fattening all the way. An angry little sausage. This is like one of the only songs I've ever turned the fatness up this high. Usually it's very low values, and usually my color's all the way down, but this I just wanted bright and thick and dirty, and sausage fattener did the job. Yeah, so without this first high pass, it would sound totally different. Totally different kinds of distortion. You're cutting out the bass so that it's saturating and fattening just the mid and the upper range than everything. There's a lot more information to saturate and to thicken up if the bass is in there too. So I just took it out and I wanted to take it out again because I didn't want it to conflict with the bass line, because this is where all of the low end is coming from. So I didn't want anything to be conflicting. That's why I have it sidechained in the first place. So the bass of the kick doesn't conflict with the bass of the bass line. Now let's get on to the mixing and mastering stage of this. A lot of my mixing techniques, you'll notice that everything is at unity gain. I like to use gain staging, like I'll use utilities, or I'll turn like if I'm using Silent, I will turn Silent down instead of turning the end fader down. Everything just looks a lot nicer, and it's a lot cleaner if everything is at the top at unity gain. So let's take a look at the master. I just have ozone and then like a mono test to see how it sounds in mono, and then spectrum. So a lot of what I use in ozone is just for the maximizer and the post equalizer, or any equalizer really, just to take a look and see what the EQ curves are. So first, let's take a look at the maximizer, a quick good tip that I use, I would move it to the drop or the biggest part of your song and make sure that the maximizer isn't limiting over around like 6 dB. You don't want it to be more than that. Look at this number down here. So it's like hitting 2, 3, 4. Leave some headroom too. The main thing I use is the post equalizer for the snapshots. You notice I have a few songs here: Clap by Wolfgang Gardner, The Reward is Cheese by deadmau5, Heartbreaker, Wolfgang Gardner, Apes from Space, I forget who that's from, but it's a really good song. Songs that I thought sounded really well, sound really good. I had others, I don't know, I guess I deleted some of them by accident. Just a bunch of top songs that I really thought sounded really good. Made sure that there were 320, high quality. I recorded the drops of every song, and they all seem to be pretty uniform. So my theory is that if I get a song looking that the EQ curve looks as good as this, then it's a really good start, and it's a really good starting point for any mix. It looks like I can turn down around 200 Hertz. Maybe I can turn up, the really high end. That's less important. The main idea is that it is following the curve generally. Not everything is going to be perfect. There is a huge gap in between what all of these sounds are. Like this clap, you can see the mid-range is boosting higher than all the other songs, which are closer down here. But the low ends seem to be pretty uniform, including my low end. So what I would do generally is, and I did this right before the video started. Where's my, open up. Okay, my bass line. Like I recorded this, I had to put this utility on it. Let me take that off. I noticed that the bass was a little hot. Let me go back to that drop. You see it's boosting up here a little too much. I think it was a little higher. Maybe I turned down something else. But that's what this utility is for, just to, turn it down like 3 decibels. So it's more uniformly even with the others. This isn't something you have to do, but there were some tracks that I made that I thought sounded really good, and then I took a look at how it compared to other top songs, and I noticed that maybe the mids were just completely lacking, the bass is too high. This technique also helps you a lot if you don't have a good room that you're in, if you don't have good speakers, or if you're using headphones. Sometimes headphones you hear like a lack of bass, or maybe an excess. If you have good headphones or like a big subwoofer, you might feel like there's way too much bass, but realistically there's not enough because you have your subwoofer turned up too high. So Ozone is a good reference point. Take some snapshots of other songs and you will get better sounding music. So this concludes the first production walkthrough. If there's something that I didn't touch on that you feel like I should have, let me know, because I'd love to know for the second video or the third video. Maybe I can do it better next time. If you have a problem with something that I'm doing, or if you have a suggestion for another tutorial or a genre or anything that I can do, just let me know and I'll be sure to make a video about it.